So I went to go see a movie last night, and there was no one in the auditorium last night. And then this morning, I went to go see this movie, and there was no one in my auditorium. It is Labor Day weekend, and this is what Hollywood puts out in theaters on Labor Day weekend, and it is showing. Reagan stars Dennis Quaid and is about a drama based on the life of Ronald Reagan from his childhood to his time in the Oval Office. From director Sean McNamara, sorry if I said your last name wrong, he brought you Soul Surfer, a movie I liked growing up, and then he also brought you like the live action Bratz and then that really bad Mermaid, the King's Daughter movie. Here comes Reagan. Okay, never saw a trailer for this movie, never saw a commercial, never seen footage of this movie before entering the auditorium today. And I saw like the poster on like my movie theater's walls. That was it. And I was like, is that even going to come to my theater? And here it is. So all right, well, so Ronald Reagan is the 40th president of our United States of America, and obviously he was a very famous person before he was president because he was an actor. How do I know that? Because of Back to the Future, of course. But when I watch this movie, I completely go in knowing like, okay, it's a biopic. I don't know everything about Ronald Reagan. I'm not really a big history person. I like history, but like I'm just not a person that keeps up with it and like knows everything about it. So go ahead and start the story or the movie off with this. I like the overall story. I find it interesting that, Ronald Reagan was a person who was a celebrity actor and then he went into politics. And this movie gets to show like his childhood, him growing up, how he lived, how he viewed things. And then once he gets into Hollywood, then he becomes what he did. And then he gets into politics, and I found that like that transformation, him turning into that, how the public viewed him, like this movie really does a good job at like explaining that, showing that, and I have to admit, like it was cool to see. Because we all live in an entertainment world, we live on a visual medium that like visually seeing this movie and seeing the story being played out is pretty cool, honestly. Like I liked it for what it was. I could definitely see this movie being like like one of those movies like history classes play for like a test or whatever. Like you know what I'm talking about? Like when your class, back when I did, you like watched a movie for class, and you had to get your parent to sign it because it was maybe like PG or 13, and then basically you go and take a test afterward. That's what this movie overall feels like. So I walked away saying, I'll never watch this movie again, but I liked what the story was trying to tell. And I think Dennis Quaid, for the most part, again, I don't know how Ronald Reagan exactly talks. I thought Dennis Quaid did a very good job in this movie. I'm going to be intrigued to see how people react to him because probably someone who actually has seen Ronald Reagan talk more than me and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see. But for just my personal opinion, I thought he was good. I will say, in a lot of other actors, the makeup in this movie was too distracting. They try to make Dennis Quaid look very, very young in certain things, and I appreciate that they didn't go the CGI route. There was some really bad green screen in this movie, really bad, but I will say the makeup was just kind of distracting. I'm pretty sure Dennis Quaid is above 65 years old, and so there was a few times I'm like, you're an old dude playing a young dude right now, and it's kind of throwing me off a little bit. So maybe I feel like they should have done like a different actor. It's like when he was young, like a little kid, obviously. But I feel like in his whole life, they should have maybe changed up a little bit. I would have found that a little more intriguing. But then again, it probably been distracting as a different actor and blah, blah, blah. But overall, like, again, it's just a movie that like I'm sitting there watching it by myself. Like, it's got a good story, and I think a certain crowd will appreciate this movie more than me because, again, overall, it felt TV movie-ish. Like, the lighting especially felt very, like, Hallmarky. Like I said, the green screen wasn't great, but, like, the production value and the costuming was very good. I'll give you that. The music was good. It's just a movie that I feel like would easily be a Hallmark TV movie or a streaming movie. I wouldn't say go pay to go see this in a movie theater, but if you're a history snob or you like Ronald Reagan, I would recommend it. But for me personally, it's a movie I'm never going to watch again. I'm going to give Reagan a C+. Again, if you're a history snob, I recommend it, or you might watch this movie and be like, that was horrible and that was boring, and that's fair. But again, for me, I like seeing like him grow up and like the transformation from actor to a president. Like that, to me, that's very interesting. And obviously, if you know the history about him getting shot, that stuff was interesting too. So again, it was fine. Never gonna watch it again. But hope you guys enjoyed this movie review. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.